Hey homies, hope you're all doing well. I just wanted to inform you before the video started that every movie that we talk about in here will be spoiled, so don't expect us to hold back. Yeah, so enjoy the video!
Ooh, chirpy, chirpy, cheep, cheep, chirpy, chirpy, cheep, cheep, chirp. Where's your mama gone? Where's your mama gone? Where's your mama gone? Where's your mama gone? Far, far away.
Hola! Hi homies, how are y'all doing?
What are we filming today?
Today, our plan for the video will be Unpopular Opinions Part 2, the Electric Boogaloo, movie opinions this time. Essentially, if you guys saw the last video, it's the same kind of format. I'm gonna be making an argument, or she's gonna be making an argument, then we each rebuttal our argument, then
I win, and that's how it works.
I'm probably gonna suck at this. I've never been really a movie guy.
Here's the thing though, like, you're chilling on a Friday night, you got nothing else to do. Are my lips too pink today?
Anyways, okay, let's get into our first point. The Joker movie was actually really good. I think Joaquin Phoenix was a great addition to the franchise, and he really played his part super well. I think he deserved the Oscar that he got.
Okay, so here's the thing. By you making this an argument, you're kind of implying that the movie's underrated, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, my argument is that a lot of people just don't like it, period. And I think a lot of people really kind of put this movie around the bottom tier of DC, Marvel, I guess more DC movies.
100%.
Because they say it's too graphic or dark, or it's it doesn't have many parts that keep you entertained throughout. But personally, I've never really seen another Joker movie, if there are Joker movies out there. I've never been a superhero fan. I don't know, I really enjoyed the movie. And I think that it kept me and other people invested.
Okay, here's the thing for me. It was really slow, which is why I was so confused, because I was watching yesterday, I'm like,
how did Bradley sit through this?
Here's the thing. I'm a huge fan of slow Lifetime kind of movies, like Forrest Gump, Shawshank Redemption, Gone with the Wind. Those are probably my top 3. I could watch those all day, every day. And for me, this just was too slow. It was really dark. I wouldn't recommend it for younger children at all. It really did mess with your mind, but honestly not in the greatest way.
And that's the kind of thing I liked about it. A lot of the viewers for DC movies and superhero movies aren't necessarily going out of their way to watch horror movies. They're going out of their way to watch action movies. So when you're investing a horror movie kind of aspect into it, I don't know, I kind of thought that was a really cool thing. It was a slow starter though, I will give Amelia that.
I really enjoyed what the director did with it. It was really dark for the Joker. When you think the Joker, you think,
why so serious?
It's kind of yeah, I can kill, it's fun, blah blah blah, hey, hey. And here's the thing, I know that Heath Ledger drove himself insane for that role, so clearly the Joker's,
yeah.
I didn't think his laughing was going to be a condition he had. Can we talk about that for a second? The fact that we literally thought Batman was the Joker's brother for a second there, because we didn't know in that movie, it was all his perspective, so we didn't know what it was real and what's not, and I left that movie still kind of confused.
Yeah, I think that kind of was what the movie was meant to kind of put onto you, because at the end it had a lot of mystery towards it, and I think it was meant to be a movie that you can conspire with. I think Joaquin Phoenix really kept the energy up. I liked that girl who played his mystery girlfriend who wasn't actually his girlfriend, and he thought it in his head.
I loved her. She was fantastic in that movie. I appreciate the metaphors he uses, every time he kills, he dances.
Ooh, you may say I'm a dreamer.
But I think it got the credit it deserved. I don't think it deserves any credit more than what it got. So now discussing directors. I hate the Russo brothers with
The passion?
I say we eliminate Endgame from the MCU and get Taika Waititi to do it again. We're gonna have to bleep this probably, because it's so disgusting. But basically they said, at the end when he is taking the stones back to where they came from in the past, and he comes back an old man. The Russo brothers, I don't actually know if they actually said this. This was just something that was trending after the movie came out, but apparently they were in an interview and they were
So what did Steve do? Blah, blah, blah.
The Russo brothers said that he went back, got Steve before he got the super soldier serum, and basically used Peggy with them. Which, first of all, is so misogynistic and disgusting. That is not Steve Rogers at all. He shouldn't have gone back to the past in general. He fought so hard the whole series to get Bucky back, and as soon as he had him back, he left. Are you kidding?
It just doesn't add up.
No.
Here's what I have to say against you. I don't have much. I do think that the Russo brothers didn't necessarily take this movie as seriously as they probably should or could have, but I think that was kind of what made it good. I think the issue with it was 3 hours long. It really caused like a lot of like unnecessary footage that was in the movie. However, I think a lot of like the funny stuff and like the
That
fun
was
stuff
for
that
the
was in it-
fans.
Yeah.
The only reason it was so long so they could have the Hulk dab. When I got home, we went to go watch it on, I want to say, a Friday or a Saturday. And like we saw it like, I think a week after it opened in London. I don't know, but Brad saw it the day it opened. So the whole time I was like, Baba, yeah, I can get. So we went to go see it, and then Monday at school, I was like, hold up a minute. This is so unrealistic. Like, first of all, let's talk about Thor for a minute. He is a god. If you're telling me he couldn't kick some purple aliens, yeah, you're lying. So you're telling me that Captain America with Mjolnir and Thor with the axe couldn't defeat Thanos. And like, they're such people pleasers, but they didn't give us anything of what we wanted.
Why are you mad?
Is my eyelash falling off?
I think it's very picky to talk about like the way in which he was murdered. But like at the same time, I think that the movie had really like powerful moments, like when like everyone thought that they were down and like all of the superheroes in like the Marvel movies like came out.
That was iconic, but honestly, Taika Waititi could have done it so much better. He's not sexist, he's inclusive. I'm pretty sure he's First Nations. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure Mark Ruffalo is, and they both stand for First Nations rights. But yeah, they need to do better. Like, the Russo brothers need to be more like Ben and Jerry.
Alright, so let's get to the next point, which is that animated films deserve more credit than they get. I feel like, I guess, it still is a prevalent prejudice against the movies that they're only made for kids or that they're not necessarily something an adult should watch, but the work and the time that goes into these movies is so dedicated and so like impactful. Like, sure, you have your sausage parties, which you know, can throw those away, but there are also like really good animated movies. You watch a lot of the movies that come out nowadays, like Crazy Rich Asians, in which the views of like the cities is really like a part of the film. And I think with animation, it's so much cooler because the entirety of that area is made to be photographed.
Okay, let's talk all the way back to 1939 when Snow White had the box office record of all time. Let's go back to Marvel for a second, into the Spider-Verse. It made probably, I want to say, quick maths, it made 4 times its budget in the box office. Are you going to tell me that they were underrated or didn't deserve anything?
No, exactly, I'm not. I'm not necessarily saying as a community we haven't been able to receive and reciprocate the work that they put into it. What I'm saying is there's still a prejudice out there that these movies, these animated movies, aren't necessarily desirable for the more mature audience.
I didn't watch Into the Spider-Verse because it was a cartoon.
And stuff like anime. Anime is such a hard thing to do. I mean, I don't necessarily watch anime a whole lot, but the people who do make it and the people who do watch it, I don't necessarily judge you for it. And that's another thing. People who watch anime are so judged in today's media, like it's crazy. Like they just instantly put them as like this weird, like weeaboo kind of person and like just throw them aside. And I know you do it too, and I sometimes do it.
I know,
and it's
I once
horrible.
asked Brad, I was like, if this guy starts talking to me and he likes anime, is that enough basis to stop talking to him? And Brad's like, dude, no. You're right, it deserves less of a prejudice, but that wasn't your OG point.
I guess I said they deserve more credit than they get. Okay, I kind of think that with
Yes!
Yeah, anything that Tom Hanks touches is gold. Probably my favorite actor of all time. I love him. Not to mention, he's so supportive of the Greek community.
I guess Toy Story 4 is a bad movie, but let's not talk about that. I think there are some movies that Tom Hanks is in that aren't necessarily the greatest, not because Tom Hanks isn't a good actor. I do think that Tom Hanks is a really good actor.
I love Tom Hanks. Forrest Gump was such a good movie. So let's talk just real quick. They antagonize Confederate supporters. They have a black main character who doesn't necessarily depend on the white main character to be a good character. Bubba was like that. Yeah. His mom was iconic. Did they glorify mental illness? Because I don't know if they glorified it or they just showed that you can live a fantastic life with mental illnesses. That just might be my perspective as a white abled female. I thought that that movie was brilliant. Like, it's just so genius. I didn't understand until like a year ago that Elvis was in that movie. I didn't understand everything about every single president getting assassinated. Probably the best scene scene in the entire movie. Forrest is playing ping pong, and instead of watching the moon landing, everybody's watching him play ping pong.
It is a good movie. I will give that movie a thumbs up from my book.
Was he in Saving Private Ryan? He was, wasn't he?
He was.
That movie was gold too.
He's in so many movies, it's crazy. So my last point that I'm going to talk about today is that I think that movies as a whole are kind of like not that good as they used to be. They've lost a lot of their passion, and I feel like everything's just kind of becoming generic. I've kind of talked about this theory, I guess I'll call it, in my last video about old music versus new music. For this time, I'm going to kind of twist the narrative on it. This is kind of what Amelia was talking about. I kind of go with this thing called the Friends theory, which is that when I watch Friends nowadays, I don't necessarily really enjoy it as much as I once did because the stuff that's come out nowadays has taken elements from Friends and kind of enhanced it and made it better. When I watch Friends now, I don't necessarily enjoy it as much as I would enjoy those things. However, I'm going to talk about movies in a different light because I think that a lot of movies that I watch nowadays, not even necessarily like enhancing plots that were once made in the past. And I think a great example of this is Disney as a company. I think a lot of their movies that have come out nowadays, excluding that one amazing movie,
You make me loco.
that was a great movie. But other than that, there's not a lot of great like Disney movies that
You can't get rid of me, bitch. I'm not going nowhere.
But other than that, there's not a lot of great like Disney movies that I could genuinely say I like. I think older movies kind of deserve more recognition than they got because those are the things that really started off what is nowadays like good.
I think other than like movie franchises, but I'm not gonna argue on this one because I 100% agree. No, but yeah, like I completely agree with you.
And there are some like in a bad bunch of movies that have been released recently. There are hits.
Nicholas Sparks movies are the only good movies that have come out since 2000. Yeah, so I am a firm believer that Nicholas Sparks is the only good rom-com writer. I look like I got a nose job. Why do I look like I got a nose job? Nicholas Sparks, probably the only man who understands women. He wrote The Notebook, which, listen, if you think You Ugly Cried to the movie, ladies, go read the book. Because I promise you right now, the book is even better. I was sitting there on my couch, I was like, but why? Like, just make up your mind. Safe Haven, I watch once a year, periodically. If I don't watch it one year, I know it's gonna be a bad year.
Here's what I'm gonna say about Nicholas Sparks. First off, let's talk about the fact that all of his movie covers look exactly the same.
That's because it works. It works.
It really doesn't.
Like, you know what I was talking about? Generic. Once is enough, sweetie. We don't need 16.
Yeah, and it's fine. But that's not Nicholas Sparks.
However, it really translates into his movies.
No, they're not all the same. Let's talk for a second. All of his movies make me cry. All of his books make me ugly cry. It works. It makes me want to fall in love. It also expands my unrealistic ideals of men.
Listen, ladies, let's talk.
When Ryan Gosling jumped on that Ferris wheel, I could have married him right then and there.
You cannot tell me, unless you're into cheesy cliches, that his movies are good. Like, he invented the word cliche.
Yeah, he invented it. Everybody else is copying him. He's the king. He is God.
Nah. He
I'm
didn't
hanging
really
up.
make it. There were so many older movies that had... She hung up on me.
Hello? He hung up on her.
Have you thought about what you've done?
Anyways, yeah, I don't know. Nicholas Sparks, he's just a little predictable to me.
It was good. Listen, sis.
Obviously what I'm saying right now is very subjective. Like, I'm not his demographic.
No, what he's aiming for, obviously, is me, who will buy all of his shit just because he's so smart. But they're not, like, unrealistic. You know what I mean?
You say as you mention the part where someone jumps on a Ferris wheel.
That's unrealistic. I'm talking about the actors.
I don't know. I just think it's all cliche. I've never been into cliches and stuff like that. I find it all stupid.
We know, like... Brad and I are seeing each other this week, so I'll take a quick clip of me running at him for you guys.
Yeah, honestly, I don't have any, like, actual good points to back this up. It's, like I said, it's all subjective. I don't know. There isn't an objective way to view movies. There are some movies that you're just gonna like and some movies you just aren't. That's something that comes with having an unpopular opinion. It's something that you don't necessarily agree with the world on.
I'm taking applications for a new guy best friend. If you like movies, you're automatically in.
No, I don't know. I've just always been more of a music person. Like, if you were to tell me to watch, like, or listen/watch a video, like, hour-long album, I would instantly go further onto that than I would.
If you want a cinematic masterpiece from an album, Fall Out Boy, when they did a they went on a hiatus and they came back with Save Rock and Roll. I could debate that it is their best album. And they made a movie out of all their music videos for it. Every single one connects in the order that it goes. And I have spent so much time just watching it. It's like 40 minutes. It's not that long, but I've watched it so much that I could probably say that I've wasted almost a year of my life.
I think I could probably say the same with Janelle Monáe's Dirty Computer, because she released a movie with it as well that was really good. That was all about the Robot Rebel Alliance, but this was like lesser time in the future. It was really interesting. All right, I think we're done with this video. I'm super tired of talking.
Wait, I have to end this video